hold their own and succeed on their own terms, take up the bold step and reach out for greatness. And then finally, women inclusiveness should not be made a value. Some companies are quick to call women inclusiveness a priority. We do not want that tag to say inclusiveness is a priority. What we are saying is that when you value something, don't just talk about it as a goal. You need to build it into your culture that influences everything you do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Rubarat. So I think I'll go to the last speaker. You don't have a presentation, right? So, no, actually, what I intended to do was for you to, because the two of them spoke about, the men and how they should support. So I wanted you to answer the question because the topic actually was how to succeed as a woman in a male-dominated industry. So could you also share maybe some experiences, minutes, on how we as ladies can succeed in this industry? Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Your voice.
Okay. I guess I've already been introduced, but I'm just going to tell you my story to cap what Nigeria and the lady said, 100% of which is true. So we all started in a very male-dominated industry. I'm using the word very because now we can take the very out and see it there. Meaning that when we started, there was actually little to no female. I could be the only lady offshore among, and I'm not exaggerating, 300 guys for maybe 2 weeks. Yes. So yeah, let me start my story. I graduated University of Mines and Technology, finished my service, CSIR, got my first job as slum vigil. At that time, we were taking in as field engineer. By the way, that's where we met, I and Nigeria. We're taking in as field engineer. Very exciting point in my career. We are just fresh out of school and then we get this job with this international company. We didn't know, I didn't know, I was excited for the perks that came with the job. I didn't know the downside. One of that being I was the only female amongst a lot of team, amongst a lot of the jobs. I worked straight 8 months without going home because the idea was I had to get as much experience as possible, not my ideas, my managers. So this is where I find myself offshore. I start to work among a lot of guys, and the first impression is it's very normal. Guys have been kept on the sea for weeks, and then suddenly they see a different breed. It doesn't even matter how it looks, as long as there's a FE in front of the male, they are okay with. It has its positives and its negatives because they treat you like a queen, and some treat you with disgust. Those who treat you like a queen, you let it get to your head, but after a while you realize you are learning nothing because everything is being done for you. Now, those who treat you with disgust feel like, well, if you say what a man can do, a woman can do better, and you are here. You have to get your own things done. I don't know what I have to do for you. You have to do better than me. And it looked like a downside, but that actually built me to a certain level. You get people trying to approach you with certain statements like, oh, you look like my mother. And you get that every time, and as somebody new in the industry, somebody new in the working world, if I didn't focus on what I was there for, it would have diverted me, it would have taken my focus because I used to get a lot of free things. And like I said, I also used to get a lot of feedback from people. Now, move forward. That is one of the challenges I had, but it had a good side because for people who were willing to push me, I'm going to hammer on this again, were the males. So this is one of the points where Nigeria mentioned that the males push us a lot. What I have experienced in the industry is some of the females are our own enemies. I'm saying this because I don't want this to be a trend. I do my part, I want you to do yours. I want you to push people as much as possible. I want you to push the female as much as possible. We don't want only the males are encouraging us to move up, only the males are saying good things about us, and then amongst ourselves, we are usually pushing each other back, we are drawing each other down. That's one of the things I experienced. And then going forward, another challenge comes in where a lot of females are afraid to go into these industries because they feel that after a while they need to get married, they need to step back. What is available for them? Oh, if I'm a nurse, I have a better chance. If I'm an accountant, I have a better chance. You need to, for me, I have been lucky to get opportunities where I took in and I was asked, I mean, that was a small measure way at that time. When you get pregnant, you are not off. You are asked to work in the office. And actually what I learned for that 1 year of working in the office, it really prepared me to where I am today. It is with that experience that I went over to Halliburton single-handedly, and I was able to handle tasks that were thrown at me. So after the baby, I went back to the field. Again, if as a woman you feel you are married or something is going to hold you back, I won't say every company, but most of the companies now are coming up with women initiatives, as been mentioned by our ladies. They are coming up with options. When you have plans, have check-ins with your manager, discuss future plans, don't wait till something happens. Give yourself timelines. Every 3 months, I'm going to discuss my performance with my manager, positives, negatives, and this applies to all, actually, not just women. What are your plans? What do you see when you look at the future? What's your long-term goal? 5 years, 10 years from now? What's your short-term goal? Where do you see yourself in a year, in 2 years? You need to plan. If you can't do 5 years, you should at least plan 2-3 years. You need to have certain things in front of you if you really want to survive in this male-dominated industry. Yes, so coming back, it's been a successful journey for me. I can gladly say that I'm in a managerial role. There was a point also that was mentioned by the ladies, saying that women are always put in the support in the administrative sessions. It's also because we have this nurturing spirit. We have this nurturing thing about us. How do you capitalize on that? How about the managerial role? How about putting yourself in that path, in that career path, where eventually you can turn into a managerial role? There's a lot of things, there's a lot of opportunities out there that we, as women, can capitalize on. So I'm going to conclude this by saying that, or asking the question, what is the difference between a male engineer and a female engineer? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll summarize briefly what our speakers said. I think the first two, Nidra and Ruparat, forgive me if I specify your name, they spoke about the fact that indeed we are in a male-dominated industry, that is the mining and the oil and gas. And then they spoke about how the men can support so that we can improve that. Nidra gave the statistics of how having women, increase revenue and all of that. So she made a case for increasing the percentage of women. And she spoke about how men could nurture, mentor, give opportunities, treat them like a queen, but still give them the work to do, so they can be challenged and they can grow and improve. So, and then Eunice shared her own case, her experience with the young ladies here. And what I heard from what she said was that she did not refuse any task she was given. Her first task after national service was to go on a ship offshore, 8 months straight. She didn't come to land. This is a Ghanaian who doesn't know how to swim on sea for 8 months with only males. I don't know how the bathrooms were. I don't know how, the living conditions were, but she did it. She didn't say because I'm a female, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that means she had grit. And I think that's one of the things you've seen from the ladies. You must have grit as a lady. You must be willing to do the work. There's nothing like saying I'm a woman, or maybe, in the wrong time with the man, so I will not do it. She also mentioned that when she was pregnant, she still worked. She didn't use the pregnancy as an excuse. So on that note, I think I will open the floor for 5 questions from our audience. No questions, so I guess the speakers will. Oh, okay. Is there a mic for you? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Madam. And thank you, our ladies, for the very good presentations you've made. Contributions. The mentorship. There are certain quarters where we advise, for instance, that, depending on the age and all of that, if you are a female, you do not have to have a male mentor. Let a female mentor you. A male, of obvious reasons. So there are times that you advise that you should not let a male, mentor you. That doesn't mean that if there are good things that a person is trying to give to all of that, you do not do that. But, when you undergo mentorship trainings and things like that, that is one thing that who advise. As much as possible, that is where, so that's why I said depending on the age. So maybe if you are at that age where you may be vulnerable, probably the best bet would be a female to female, mentor. But there are also good, male mentors that will take advantage of you. And then also, in terms of ladies trying to do engineering and all of that, yes, it's very true. Just recently, I've been able to help one lady to fulfill her dream. Now, I looked at her, and results. She did so well. A in elective maths, A in maths, A physics, A physics. And then this girl had applied for nursing. And the parents approached me so that I could let her get the nursing. So when I looked at, so why do you want to do nursing? You can be a very good engineer. Why? And then the lady said, yes. Initially, I chose engineering. And then my friend advised me that engineering is for males. You have to do nursing. And then she changed it to nursing. So we had to change it back to electrical engineering. Excellent lady. So we need to encourage our ladies, to do the things that we think are for men. But as a matter of fact, the ladies don't do it so well. I was one time the coordinator for this STEM, and I can tell you that the ladies that I took through this STEM thing, most of them are engineers now. We have some electrical engineers, pharmaceutical engineers, we have electrical engineers and all of that. So when you encourage the ladies, they do so well. And then when they enter the job, I think that at the job place too, we have people who encourage them, and then they can become as you have become. And I like what the third speaker said. At times we say that the ladies are their own enemies. I know that we'll be able to stop that. If you are a lady and then you can help a lady. help her to also reach where you have reached. But even, surpassing is very, very important. When we're able to do that, we have a lot of our ladies being at top management positions and all of that. And I believe with the support of men and all of that, we should be able to see our ladies, especially in engineering, at very top positions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that submission. Any other question or comments? There's a gentleman at the back. Can you please?
Good afternoon again. And my respect to you all ladies for the very wonderful presentation. I think in this industry we have seen ladies coming in right from the beginning. I think I want to point it a little bit to attitude from the beginning. I think when we are in primary school, we sit in the same class with ladies. We study the same exams, we write the same papers. Sometimes the ladies are first in class, and the men, we don't understand why the lady must be first, so we try and overcome them. I have done that 1,000 times. You see, the thing is, if the lady is able to become first in class, having studied the same thing, which means that we started with the same obstacles right from the beginning. The attitude you had when you were being first in class, have that same attitude when you get to your profession. Don't wait. If nobody treated you special when we're writing BEC or SSC or when we're doing a master's, we studied the same thing. And by the time we get into the profession, we still study the same thing. We're all conditioned alike. I mean, giving cognizance to the fact that conditions on site sometimes are not quite encouraging for the ladies. If I were a lady, I wouldn't want to take a job because of affirmative action, because that means that I'm already playing second fiddle to somebody. But I would want to come in there by merit and then take the men on just as it was an examination. So my little encouragement to the ladies is that if you're training as an engineer, there are the challenges that come with engineering. And right at the point of entry, psych yourself up. Our biological differences might make us find little challenges here and there. But if I take it as an examination, and some of you wrote examination when you were in menses, you had those same challenges. I would encourage you that try and then psych yourself that this is the road I'm going in, and whatever challenge come my way, I'll face it, and then I'll excel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think one of the speakers mentioned that they do not want to be taken simply because they are female. So I think that was Rupert, right? That they want to be given the same opportunities and be employed on merit. So I think that was very clear. I don't think the ladies are looking for hand-me-downs. I don't think, the four ladies here, got hand-me-downs. I think they did their jobs. They were there on merit. But thank you for that submission. For those up and coming, we say that don't settle for less. Live up to your full potential. Any other question or comment? Yes. Let's do this quickly before the lunch crowd. Yeah. There's one in front here. There's a gentleman in front. I think there's one over there.
Thank you. I wanted a clarification by the gentleman behind me. He was saying, depending on the age, the men should be. I wanted him to clarify the age difference. Thank you.
Is he going to answer the question? He's on the phone. Okay, then say. You can give it to the gentleman in front. Then there's another one here, right? Yes.
Mine is just a contribution, a sportive statement. I think our ladies have said it clear, and I think the men, we should make it a conscious effort to assist them to get to where they must be. It's not where they are asking to be, where they must be. and let's be careful not to wait until we have more female children like me before we start supporting the women. I think geologists, I know have most geologists, I don't want to be stereotyping, but I think the male geologists end up giving birth to more females than it's a fact. Where there's some statistics that have been taken over. Yes, well, if it's not true, whilst we are here, we'll do some big stats and then we'll.
I agree.
Don't start denying your own children. But the point is that let's help the ladies in this course. They have outperformed anytime they have been tried in certain positions, and then we have to applaud them for that and be honest to them. So let's be supportive to them. And I would say, Madam Eunice tells me the strong point. Sometimes we overestimate that women are their own enemies. They want to suppress it, but she is not right on it. And so, in terms of the mentoring, while the men are assisting the women, please help us. Every breed wants its numbers to grow. By that, I can say, 7 months and 4 crap. So you also should make a constant effort to, make sure you get your numbers to help each other. Thank you. Bye.
So I'll take the last question from the gentleman and then we'll wrap it up.
Sir, when Achenkon started Science College at that place, we were boys and they decided to bring girls to the system. We were doing that for 80 years before the SHS scheme. We were in class with females, they were doing that, they want to go engineering, they want to do everything. So if you push them into among the males, you will do what you want to do.
Thank you. On that note, we bring the session to a close, and I want to say thank you to the 3 speakers. I think you were brief, and that made it more interesting. Thank you for all that you've shared, and thanks to the audience for the support. Thank you.
Thank you, round of applause to them. Thank you, Dr. Aloki, Vice President, Sustainability, Gold West Africa. A big thank you to our panelists, Eunice, Rubarat, and then Nigra. Thank you so much. Let's clap for them once again. Let's keep on clapping as they take their lead. We now invite Mr. Kofi Dazi to give us a company insight of Night Visual Consulting, our platinum sponsor. Let's clap for him as he comes. He's the HR and administration manager. 5 minutes, then we go for lunch. Let's keep on clapping for Mr. Dazi, Night Visual Consulting, HR and administration manager, to give us a brief company insight. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kofi Dazi, working with Night Visual Ghana Limited. I'm happy to have your permission to give a brief overview or profile of Night Visual. I'll start with this controversial statement that engineering has been the center for development. Some might agree, some might not. But Night Visual is a company that is providing engineering services. So when we think of engineering, we say Night Visual. Purely a Ghanaian established company registered in 1996. Night Visual has grown to provide engineering services as part of a global consulting company. Night Visual emerged from KP, the short name Night Visual. KP has been in existence for over 100 years, providing engineering consultancy services to mining clients, road, power, talk of environmental services, we are there. Talk of environmental services, we are available. geotechnical services we are available, and also site investigation. Our technical services in mining and environmental are tailings management, tailings pump and pipeline design, geotechnical foundation engineering, geotechnical site investigation, laboratory testing services, water balance, dam break analysis, hydrological modeling and assessment, hydrological assessment, annual and quarterly TSF, that's tailings storage facility, engineering of service management. At Nice Resort, we also provide environmental management plans, monitoring, baseline studies, environmental and social impact assessment services. We provide this to West African countries like Ghana, Togo, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and many others. Operating within Ghana, we give support engineering services to other companies outside. So we have the global local knowledge, but the global expertise means that we share global experience worldwide. Some of our membership aside the statutory required bodies are Ghana Institution of Engineering, Ghana Chamber of Mines, WAIMM, and GIPC. We have giants that we work for. That is our cherished client like GoFo's Ghana Limited, INZAG, Future Global Resources, Golden Star, CIMAP, and Asante Corporation. That's Asante Good Corporation. So when we think of engineering services, let's think of Nice Resort because we have diverse levels and specialist services available at every point in time. Thank you for your time too.
Thank you, Kofi. If we think about engineering, think about Nice Resort Consulting. So this brings us to the end of our session. We are going for lunch. We have 30 minutes, just 30 minutes. Right after you finish it in place, let's not be there converse. Let's all come here so that we continue with our conversation. And I believe most of us will be asking to know more experience about Dr. Alote. All our panelists and our speakers are around. Let's engage them and then talk to them. 30 minutes lunch. Yeah, thank you.